Hola, amigas, and welcome to a very special episode of Las Patronas, which means Lady Boss. Today, we have the honor of sitting down with the woman who isn't just watching history happen, she is the one writing the playbook. We are here with the amazing Monica Paul, the executive director of the Dallas Sports Commission and the force of nature leading the North Texas FIFA World Cup organizing committee. But before all that, before she was negotiating global stages, she was learning the value of grit and hard work on her family's farm in Caldwell, Texas. She is the perfect blend of small town values and world class ambition. Monica, we've seen the headlines and the massive stats, but we want to learn more, especially for our audience that's meeting you today. So, how would you describe the woman behind the titles, and what is your why that fuels your mission to put Texas on top of the world?
Well, I think you may have hit it on the head here. Being from Caldwell, Texas, a small town, you learn a lot about hard work and worth ethics and integrity and ensuring that um, putting your best foot forward and keeping your word. I think that's what I'm about. I think I've had some fantastic opportunities growing up. Even in, out of college, being able to have the opportunity to work with the national team and attend Olympics and travel 27 different countries and see different parts of the world and the relationships that I was able to create through that, and then to bring those opportunities here to Dallas. And I did grow up playing sports, so I'm very competitive, always have been from a very young child, I think. And while I no longer participate on a court or a field or a pitch, what I do on a day in day out basis, from attracting sporting events here to the city, that's still competition for me. And how can we continue to build great teams, partners here, as well as from a city and regional perspective? How can we continue to elevate the brand? Um, Continue to bring major sporting events into the city. That's still a very competitive nature because we're bidding against other cities. So I believe in win-win partnerships.
Yeah.
And how can we also at the same time utilize these great events that we're having to leave positive legacy behind?
Mhm. That's amazing. Well, let's talk about the win heard around the world. You didn't just get Dallas a seat at the table, you secured 9 matches, more than any other in North America. Take us to the moment when you found out. What was going through your mind? What were the behind the scenes like during that moment?
Well, it was in real time, so we did not get a heads up indication beforehand of what the match schedule reveal was going to look like. So we were actually at AT&T Stadium with many of our stakeholders, city officials, leaders, um, AT&T Stadium representation, the Jones family, FC Dallas, many people within the soccer community there watching us unfold on live TV. Keep in mind, during this time, we were also really hoping we were going to be named for the final and to be able to host that. It had been in the news, there had been some fake news going on, so we had been dealing with that for about a month before that. And then, when they came out and announced 9 matches, that we had never known that, hey, it was 9 matches was even possible. So we thought all along, okay, 8 matches is probably what's gonna take shape. So when we kind of saw that 9th match come out, we're like, okay, well, that probably means we're not getting the final. And then obviously they announced New York, New Jersey for that. But I also think that it makes you step back a little bit and say, wow, 9 matches more than any other host city. And I think that means a lot. One of those matches is semifinal. So we're really, let's put our head down. Let's do the work that we know and show who we are, from the Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth, Frisco, North Texas region. We're going to let our work, I think, and our results of hosting this successful event speak for us.
Yeah. Amazing. I love your origin story. And you started as a manager for the U.S. women's volleyball team and ended up at the Olympics, like you mentioned. What was that experience like? What did it teach you about the power of saying yes, maybe before you were 100% ready?
This was a kind of being in the right place at the right time. Moment. I was working with the University of Texas volleyball program. Our head coach then was offered the national team head coaching job, and he probably jokingly asked me to, and as well as another assistant coach, to join him in Colorado Springs with the team. And I probably had it was between 14 or 17 hours of college undergraduate left to go, and I'm like 20. I was maybe 20 years old, and I knew there was way more qualified people than me to do what he was asking. And I'm like, yes, I will do it. So I
Put me in.
I asked him probably for a month. It wasn't calling back, and I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go. He said this, and it worked out. I moved to Colorado Springs, making $50 a week, living in the Olympic Training Center. But it really transitioned into an opportunity to travel the world, learn so much, be connected from a Olympic Committee standpoint, and I really thought that I was going to be going into coaching. In my undergraduate, I was like preparing to go to physical therapy school afterwards and trying to make those decisions when this opportunity presented itself. So it really expanded, there's this sports business
Size.
side out there. And kind of ever since then, it was, no turning back. But it really opened my doors, the connections, the relationships, the growth opportunities, the mentors, and people that I still call friends today. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and to be able to represent your country and be in Olympic Games, and be able to, wear that USA on your chest was pretty special.
Wow, that's amazing. You've helped build Dallas Sports Commission from the ground up. Let's just be honest. The early days, did you ever imagine that you'd be leading the charge for the biggest sporting event in the world?
No, no, I didn't. Actually, funny enough, I got here to Dallas in December of 2008. And June of 2009, so I was only here about 6 months, we got the bid documents, the RFD for the 2018 and 2022 World Cup. And
Wow.
really trying to take that on, and you don't have the connections, you don't have the network, you're barely knowing how to navigate, how to drive around the city and the region. So it's been very rewarding. Sometimes I just have to sit back and rehash some old stories, go through some old files, just to see the development and growth of what this sports market has become. And we have fantastic professional teams. We're seeing growth in the number of sports, of professional sports have taking place here, addition of women's sports. But then if you actually look at here, the events that we have hosted, here are the growth of the participant events that we had already been hosting well before I arrived here. The fact that we were named #1 sports business city as well. Very proud. And believe me, it is not all me. I've had fantastic team members that join me. You've got, city leadership that's very impactful, our venues, our hotel community, airports, other government agencies around here that our corporate based, our volunteers.
It takes a village.
It's a village, so it's not just me. It's
Yeah.
this is a fantastic region.
Yeah, that's amazing. You recently unveiled the Texan Golden Boot, which is a stunning symbol for the region, but you also launched the North Texas Sports Foundation. I mean, that's amazing. You're not just planning a tournament, you're trying to do something, build an organization that's going to last for decades. Why is it so vital for you to establish a foundation, and how do you see it transforming sports for the youth and the community after the World Cup is over?
Yeah, we really see this as something that is long term. This is about leaving lasting legacy. We have hosted so many major events up until this point, and sometimes we have left legacy, but sometimes it feels a little disjointed. And with what we have coming, even after the World Cup, we've got an NCAA men's We've got a women's Final Four in 2031 again, a hopeful FIFA Women's World Cup in 2031. It's no secret we want another Super Bowl, another NBA All-Star game coming around, a WNBA All-Star. We can do so much good within our community through those events. So needing to get the structure and the framework established, and we're like, well, if there's a time to do this, it's with the World Cup because there's so much opportunity for us, whether it's mini pitches in underserved areas. You've got kids that can't go outside of, or don't feel safe going outside of their homes, maybe don't have access to sport, don't have the equipment, doesn't have a place where they can practice, do anything like that. There's sustainability initiatives, there's arts and cultural initiatives that we can work towards. And it's all about how can we leave a lasting legacy through the World Cup, through people's interest, and being able to support the community, kids, in different initiatives. We're not going to complete everything before, end of July and when the World Cup matches will take place, but it's going to give us a runway to be able to leave some lasting legacy after 2026 is come and gone. And we want this right now very focused on soccer, but this foundation will evolve into basketball, football, other camps and clinics, other grants to other nonprofits who are doing really, really good work in this youth space.
That's amazing. Volunteering is very close to my heart. I have a nonprofit as well, and that's the focus, to give back. Is there a website if our community wants to get involved with that, where they can go?
Yes, NorthTexasSportsFoundation.org is the website. There's a place for more information about the Texan Golden Boot, which we are very excited should be installed in May prior to the World Cup. There's a brick program. There's other opportunities to engage in World Cup from a legacy standpoint, access to tickets for those of you or people who may want to add a little tickets plus legacy. Some different assets there, and we'll be unveiling some additional programming. We've already announced some of the locations for mini pitches. And actually, if people go to DallasFWC26.com, there's a place to get involved. And there's a place to nominate locations throughout the region and Metroplex if people say, hey, I have maybe an old tennis court, and this would be a great location for a
Let's refurbish it.
Let's refurbish it. And you can go fill that document out. That comes to us, and then we have a team that will go out, take a look at it. And then our goal from a foundation standpoint is to get 26 mini pitches here at minimum. I mean, we would love to exceed that.
You say mini pitches. What is that?
These are kind of a smaller form, a sport court, so that we come in about the size of a tennis court, basically. They do some resurfacing, bring in the goals. There's some logos. There's some security fencing around. In some cases, they're lighting. So we want this to be a place within a community that kids feel safe, that they can go, they can get out and active. We know that sports creates, one, ability to work with others, so many values and traits that these kids will be able to take on in other areas of their life.
I love that so much. Well, let's talk about your day-to-day. You have to get sport owners, city officials, community leaders, all very big personalities to pull in the same direction. How do you get everyone on the same page? And what is your secret to building consensus when the stakes are high?
Well, I think it's about communication, honestly, with a lot of dealings and interactions. So if we can communicate early, bring people into the process early, people understanding their roles, I think too. I mean, if you look at the World Cup, we've got, matches in Arlington. You've got a fan festival, International Broadcast Center in Dallas. You've got a potential base camp in Frisco and Mansfield. We've got transportation hubs out from the airports at DFW International Airport in Dallas Love Field, as well as Centerport Station, which is in Fort Worth. Lot H.
And there's like a major hub, like a major communication hub that is going to be here.
Our Joint Operations Center is going to be here. We've got public viewing events. So it really is there's a lot of moving parts. So if people understand what their role is, and we can communicate that and bring them in, for this World Cup, we've established about 15, no, 18 different working groups.
Wow.
So, with regional representation on them. So you know, anyone is invited to be on these working groups and meet with us and aid in the planning process. But it's a way for them to voice their thoughts, their opinions, and help us to ensure that this event is successful. So I'm very proud of really how the region has come together for this World Cup. We've had challenges before and other, major events, but this one really, um, everyone has been working really well together.
Amazing. Like we mentioned earlier, Dallas is hosting more matches than New York, LA, and Mexico City, and that sends a massive message to the world. What do what do you say about North Texas? Like, what is the one thing that you want people to see when they get here?
Oh, well, I think, one of the things I'm really, really excited about is what our residents are going to be able to experience. It's like I've been to pretty much every major sporting event there is and never to a World Cup, but I had the chance to go to Russia in 2018 and Qatar. Russia was a very quick one, but it was my first experience, and the passion, the culture, the energy that you feel. I mean, I people from Mexico were there with their jerseys on Brazil, and neither one of their teams were left in the World Cup at that point. But the passion,
It's just a celebration.
celebration that brings that it brought with it, I'm like, it's something that you can't really explain to people. And I think what I'm probably most looking forward to is welcoming them into Dallas and Arlington and Fort Worth and North Texas area. And for us to be able to roll out that Texas hospitality, but let's show them it might be a different version of what in their mind is Dallas. We're not, well, I haven't seen horses at the DFW airport lately. So, but there might that's the national perception, and I'm excited to collectively work with all the cities to be able to provide. Hey, here are our favorite restaurants. Here's our things to do. Here are some hole in the walls. Here are the things, especially with the international broadcasts that are going to be here. This is a really opportunity for us to uh, share the excitement throughout our city and the suburban areas, but also what are those key messages that we want those broadcasters and media that are going to be here to share around the world as well, to continue to elevate the global presence and profile of DFW.
Yeah, you're talking about you said about 2 billion to be brought in during this time.
We're anticipating about $2 billion in economic impact. So for the highest number that we've seen.
That's amazing. Well, you've been honored as a top woman in sports tourism, and you've made the Dallas 500 list multiple times. But what does that recognition mean to you? And who are the people you think about when you're standing on the stage accepting?
Well, I think the people I think about are probably my team members, other members of the sports commission that have come and gone. Those have been with me when even starting it. I also think of some of my mentors that in previous roles and jobs of really what's in some of those earlier years, what I was learning, what they taught me, and hopefully what I have grown to be able to teach others and coach others through. So whether it's students at SMU, interns that are coming on, and really what it means to me is I'm proud of what this community is, and I'm very humbled, honestly, to be recognized. I'm sure there are many more deserving people than I for that, but I hope people know that I have the Dallas and DFW's best interests. I'm very passionate about
That shows. That shows.
region and what I do from a sports standpoint. So, really hoping they know that I will continue to put my best foot forward.
And like you mentioned, you've traveled the world. You've been to 27 countries, and I'm sure you like in your story, it's amazing. You've kind of learned to be your own advocate. Like you wouldn't be where you are today without, um, you know, being your own advocate. Um, but you've also been like the first and maybe the only in a lot of rooms. What advice would you give to a young woman who wants to get into sports tourism, but she doesn't see anyone who looks like her in the room yet? What would you say to her?
I try to even when I taught at SMU, I tried to tell the students, like, there are so many people out there that want to help you to succeed. Like, the exciting things for me is I know someday somebody is going to be taking over for me, and I want to be able to set them up for success. And I want to do that for young kids too, trying to get into the whether what type of sports business it is, whether it's sports tourism, whether it's working in a professional team or a league. I think sometimes they're afraid to reach out, but all you have to do is take that first step and that first initiative, because there are a lot of people out there that want to help to get you to make your dreams come true. But it takes hard work. Nobody's going to do it for you, but you've got to take the first step and really reach out, because we are trying to build for the future. And you're in, especially in Dallas, you're in one of the top, or the top number one sports business city. So you have a lot of resources and a lot of assets here.
I mean, could you recommend any books or podcasts that you like to listen to or that you think might help?
I used to be able to do this, but
because I'm waiting for your book.
I have not had a chance. I used to every Christmas and Thanksgiving. That was my book reading time. But I haven't had a chance to pick up a book in a minute, so I do need to get back on that. Jim Collins' Good to Great was always one of my top ones many years ago. But
That's awesome.
I know I need to get back out there in the readings section.
Well, I've heard you described many different things, but powerhouse, visionary. But we want to hear from you. What kind of leader are you, and how do you define the brand of leadership that you bring?
I feel probably more servant leader. I feel like I have a lot of stakeholders. I've got a lot of, I would say, bosses to a certain degree as well. I think it's very important for me to always be representing the city, the sports industry. Well, even though, it may not be on the job description necessarily, I know that I do have that voice, and I have a lot of partners, and I hope that whatever types of events we're bringing here, whatever types of business, even on from a foundation standpoint, I'm one who always wants to look at it from a win-win perspective. I think that's the only way we're able to build, and it's partly my responsibility to continue to churn and to continue to work and develop good partners for us to be successful.
I agree completely. Well, those were all my questions. So, in closing, they say that vision is the art of seeing what others can't. And looking at the road that you have paved, it's clear that you saw a future for North Texas that no one else could imagine. And on behalf of the Latina Leadership Podcast and Las Patronas community and every young person listening and watching today, we want to say congratulations. Thank you for showing us that you don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the most powerful, and for proving that when you lead with your heart, the whole world takes notice. We're so proud to have you as a patrona representing our region on the world stage. And amigas, let's give it up one more time for the amazing Monica Paul making history. And with that, and to our listeners, like Monica taught us today, never count yourself out. Your big yes is waiting. So don't forget to subscribe and follow on social media and on YouTube. We'll see you next time.